How exactly do you study art, especially when you're a beginner? Knowing your skill level and knowing how to study at that skill level is the best way for you to improve as an artist. I guess as a beginner, I don't really go outside my boundaries of how I study and how I structure my studies. Like things that are out of my reach, I keep them in the background and I just focus on studying what I understand at the moment and what I want to understand. So I don't jump around and find myself being overwhelmed by art, because as a beginner and also self-taught, the only place I have to go when I want to learn something new is YouTube and the books that I have. So I don't want to just see something someone do online and like, oh yeah, I gotta study this. But videos online kind of make it difficult for beginner artists to understand. Sometimes when people make a video about a study structure, they don't tell you that it only works for them because they already understand the foundation of it. So when you try studying as a beginner, you don't technically understand what is going on, even though it looks simple enough to understand, because there's experience in that study, and that's what lets the professional artist who's explaining the study able to do it. It can be as basic as the Loomis method. There's still different thing to understand, the different planes of the Loomis method to understand before you can start studying and manipulating that. So as a beginner, I take everything with a grain of salt and I just study things that I understand. So everything that I want to learn, I write it down somewhere or keep it in the back of my head of how I'm gonna approach it and what I need to understand before I approach that. So knowing your skill level, knowing where you at, is basically staying in your own lane as an artist until you're able to move over to the other lane and then understand the different structures of how to study. Because with your skill level, you are only gonna study, you should only study that which you understand, because studying something that you don't understand completely or haven't had any experience to understand what you're studying is only gonna keep you in this bubble of trying over and over and over again. Of course you're gonna learn from that, but you should be ready for that. That's why when you play video games, they give you, experience for you to understand, okay, the next boss is gonna be way harder than this, so I need this gear, I need this skill point to basically get past that, because you are basically just staying in that one specific area to get the proper skills needed to go to the next. So that's how I approach art. I don't really want to just, hey, I see something, oh my, wow, this person's a professional, I gotta study this. Oh wow, this person's good, I gotta study this. No, you have to just study what you understand right now, because those things are gonna make you understand how to study and approach the next thing. Even as simple as drawing a box, I still don't understand every way to manipulate a box. Sometimes I struggle to draw a box or a circle, but I make sure I draw them every day, because the way these other people are able to manipulate the box, they didn't just draw it because someone said, hey, make sure this goes this way, this direction, and rotate it this way, and you think it's that simple a few times and you already, okay, I don't need to study any more boxes. No, I make sure I draw boxes every day, because that's something I still don't understand completely, and my head is still trying to wrap my head around it. So until I am able to manipulate that with no type of reference, no type of like just without thinking about it, I'm able to just do it. That's when I'm like, okay, maybe I can move on to the next and do different things with it. Of course you can experiment with different things, but don't go too far in the mist and come back and study what you understand, and then every now and then you step your foot out and just try something new. But if you stay to the structure you understand, there's a lot to learn more, and there's still more stuff to dissect in that specific space. But what I really want to say is to please proceed art with caution, and to make sure that when you studying something, you don't end up letting it overwhelm you, because not understanding something and not being ready for something at the skill level you are is only gonna drain you, and studying it and drawing it over and over is not gonna make you understand the fundamentals and the structure of that study, because those studies are backed by experience. So be careful when you're looking up how to do something or understand something, because sometimes what they're teaching you is beyond the levels of what you understand right now. So stick to what you know for the moment and just step your foot out. But don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people are hearing this and saying, oh, but what do you mean the whole point of doing studying art is to basically venture out and study what you don't understand? Yeah, but there's way to study. Just like studying math, studying everything, they're not just gonna like make you jump to something you don't understand completely until you can wrap your head around what you understand right now. But I'm gonna explain to you how I discovered this. It was when I was studying how to draw bodies, and I discovered that I find it more easier for me to study anatomy than to try to actually study the shapes the body is made out of. It's like if I understand how the muscle is acting, or if I understand how the muscle is under the skin, I'm able to create that shape, and it makes it easier for me to understand the body like that. That might be something like people make a video about and saying simple way to understand anatomy, but no, you can't just put that, because beginners are gonna be like, well, since I'm struggling, I'm just gonna go do this simple method. But then you stop studying for a day and then you completely forgot everything. You're like, oh my god. Like, you can decide to study every day, but it comes with its baggage, you know, because you're not gonna be consistent with it, because there's still a lot to understand. It works for me, but I'm not gonna tell everybody else to do it, because it's something that just a personal niche for me, I would say. But it's not all perfect, because there's still things that I hate about it, because you tend to basically, I break down the body to every tiny little detail, which I don't like, because I want my style to be more of a manga or anime type of style. So I just be like, okay, I need to actually study the, you know, the flow and the shapes, because I want to be able to just manipulate the body however which I want. So if I don't agree with my own way of studying how to draw the body, I don't think studying what someone put years into understanding is gonna completely help me if it's not helping me at the skill level that I am right now. So I backtrack from that studying, because it's not a healthy way to study what I'm trying to do, because I'm not gonna understand my how I'm drawing the body, because all my body that I draw are stiff. They have no rhythm, no motion. Like, they don't even tell a story. Of course, that's not something I'm worrying about now, but I'm not consistent with it. It's just like, it's just a personal niche. So it's like, you know, it brings me a little bit of happiness when I'm like, oh yeah, I can draw a body like this. This is a good method. But it takes so long to just basically do one body. And it's like, I want to be able to just gesture draw and understand that, but because there's so much ways people are telling you to approach it, as a beginner, it becomes overwhelming. I'm like, oh my god, like, I need to find my own method to this. I need to find my own way of doing this, but I still can't find it. So it's like I'm keep searching, and that's the point of art, you know. You're just gonna have to keep it on, because there's like, you're gonna have to find your own footing in this space, basically. But also, I could be wrong, you know, I could just be yapping. But if you do have any input or any opinions, or are going through the same thing that I'm going through, please leave it in the comments below and we can chat about it. But if you do want to keep chatting about art and the different ways of approaching art, or just being a beginner and the struggles that come with it, this video is brought to you by my Discord, so you can join that and we can chat about art some more. And you could also follow me on BlueSky on Instagram. You don't really have to follow me on Twitter, because I know Twitter is pretty much hell on earth right now, so everybody's trying to avoid it. So you can follow me on there if you choose to. But thank you for watching and happy studying.
What are you simpletons doing?